everyone. I'm Fred Oakman here with Mr. Jake Peters, and you're listening to PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 384, where we dive into our thoughts on all things PlayStation. Before we jump in, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome, where you can also watch the video version of the podcast, and you can check out our trophy lists on the PlayStation Network. I am Anchorless_81, and Jake is Jakesaw01. Send your thoughts to psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Share the show with friends. Don't forget to rate us. This podcast airs for free every Wednesday on your preferred streaming platform. But for those who sign up to our Patreon for just $1 a month, you can join the one and only $1 Club. You get a free die-cut vinyl sticker like this, and we give you a shout-out on our podcast. Most times, you also get the show a day early or two. Visit patreon.com/PS This Is Awesome to support us. Remember, if you like our podcast, it does us a lot of good. If you can just head over to YouTube, whether you listen there or not, like, comment, and subscribe to that channel. With that out of the way, Jake, how are you doing Monday evening?
I'm doing pretty good, I would say. My car is in the shop because it's, leaking oil, which is not good. But I have a Mazda, and the nearest Mazda dealership is an hour away. So that sucks. But the nice thing about it is because I bought my vehicle there, they'll give me a loaner as long as I request one whenever I drop my vehicle off. So basically I had to drive all the way to Boardman this morning to drop my vehicle off. But the nice thing about it is that the loaners that they give me are always like these whatever top of the line brand new Mazdas that they let you just drive while they it's not like some shitty car because they want you to buy them. So it's like they're like, here, drive this fancy version of the new Mazda, and to try to entice you to maybe buy a new vehicle. So I've been hem-hawing about buying a new car just because all of our vehicles are so old. And the loaner that they happen to give me is like almost the exact car I would buy if I was going to buy another Mazda. So it's like a blessing and a curse with this whole thing with my car, where it's like, it's kind of fucked up. I don't want to have to pay to fix it. But at the same time, they're just for free letting me drive this fucking car for a couple days so I can kind of get a real good idea of whether or not it's something I might actually want to own. Because usually, I mean, you just bought a vehicle. I don't care who you are. I mean, maybe you're not like me, but I have never test drove a car and then not later after I purchased the vehicle found some shit I didn't like about it that I would have never caught on like a 2-minute test drive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, you don't spend the time to fiddle with all of the technology. You don't spend the time to like dick around with how the cruise control works. You don't spend the time with doing this, that, or whatever. So it's kind of cool having a loaner for a couple days because then I can just kind of fuck with everything in the car because I have it on my own time. And this car has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Does your car have that?
It's fucking awesome.
It's so cool, right? And I know this isn't like a new thing, but I'm driving old cars. So like the fact that I just get in my car, get in the loaner, and I just turn it on, and it like syncs to my phone, and it brings up Google Maps, and it's like all real smooth and seamless, and it links up like instantaneously. It doesn't. There's no lag at all. It's
very convenient.
It's a cool thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's a bit of a thing that I'm dealing with right now. But other than that, still pumped about our show yesterday. It was a little hot, but it was a really fun time.
Yeah.
And on to another just slog at work, I suppose.
Yeah, dude, that was an awesome show. For those who don't know, Jake and I play in a band together. and we go by Fred Open in the Flood, and we consistently play gigs around the area, the local Pennsylvania area, and shows typically go pretty well. We got asked to play this place called Big Rail Brewing out in Grove City, Pennsylvania. We were there on Sunday, and how nice is it to have such a big stage?
Dude, it was so awesome having all that room.
It's ridiculous.
Even just like having the carpets there and everything. It was, and having someone do sound obviously is always a good thing.
And he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously have no idea what it sounded like front of house, but like it sounded fine on stage.
Yeah, dude, I have some video. I'll have to share with you. We sounded great. We sounded absolutely fantastic. As is expected, we're a good band, and that's just kind of cool, man. That we got to do that. Yeah, it was good. Sunday was good, except it was really hot, like you said, and hopefully they have us back under better, I don't know, climate in a better temperature or whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Better weather. It was just hot. That's all. I mean, the weather wasn't even bad. It was just hot, dude. Yeah, that aside, dude, I got a letter from my insurance company today. Now, granted, when I got my new car, I had to add my car to the insurance, and that alone was significant enough as a gut punch because it just cost $1 million. I had an older car. Adding a new car, you got all the bells and whistles or whatever. Well, I have had... This is something I think that would piss you off, because it pisses me off. I have had direct debit from my bank account whenever they got to take the money out, right? Just take it. I don't need to pay attention to it. You have all my information. We've talked on the phone. You've added the plan. You're going to take the money. It's fine. I don't even keep track. It's a nice problem to have, is that I don't have to... of course, you have to make sure there's money in the account, but, you budget. So anyways, I get a letter today. I think my insurance for the car, and I don't know, it's under $300 a month, but needless to say, I get a letter in the mail saying that I owe for last month's insurance. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I look, and it says, if your bank refuses a direct withdrawal a second time, we will cancel your insurance. I have no idea what it's about. I had all the money in the world in that account, so I don't know. So what I did was, so now I owe last month's and this month, so upwards of almost $600 this month to them, which is annoying, and granted, it is on the consumer to check these things if you're financially responsible. I have not had to check my insurance withdrawals on my bank account for 12 years, is how consistent it's been. They've never missed one for 12 years. They've consistently pulled it out on the day they said they would. Nothing has changed on my end, and now I get a thing saying that I owe for a late payment, and I'm like so pissed off. But I got online, and I use Erie Insurance, and it turns out they got hacked. They had a cyber hack recently. Really big one. There's 2 federal lawsuits now against them or something. And people have, I don't know. There's a lot of shit going on with Erie Insurance, and I had no idea. And they serve many states. It's not just, they're housed in Erie, Pennsylvania, but they serve 12 different states. But dude, I got on there, and I'm thinking, I wonder if as a precaution, because I know their website was down for most of June. I wonder if they just stopped, full stop, kill switched all of their operations until that was smoothed out. And now every Erie Insurance customer has had a missed payment in June now, if it was auto withdrawals. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. But it bothers me.
That type of thing has happened to me in the past too, where and it's happened to me in the past too, where, for example, Erie Insurance in your situation, Erie Insurance is pulling the money out of your bank account.
Right.
You gave Erie Insurance like some form that gave them access to your account to withdraw the money or whatever.
Right.
So I had an instance in the past with this where the company, in this case, Erie Insurance, just canceled that program for me and just didn't tell me that they were doing it.
That's bullshit.
And so I'm like, why the fuck didn't this come out? And I contact them and they're like, oh yeah, we canceled that program. You have to reapply for it. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, I missed a payment and now I've got to pay you all this money in one lump sum because
which sucks.
You guys dicked around with me like that. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's like, we're talking about mountains and molehills here. It's not like it's the end of the world. But when you're talking about what you're saying with dude, Erie Insurance is notoriously ruthless. So when they say they will cancel your insurance if the payment is refused one more time, believe it. They will 100% do it.
Yeah, I believe it.
Because I don't use Erie. I used to use Erie Insurance. I don't use them anymore because...
Was they the ones that screwed you over on the siding issue with your house or something?
No, that was Progressive. But Erie Insurance, we had like one or two claims on our insurance, and they just dropped us.
That's insane.
They said, like we won't cover you anymore. And it's like, so what we ended up doing was, because I had my homeowners through them and everything, I just moved everything off of Erie Insurance to something else. Right. And because you get, it pays the bundle and blah 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 blah. But yeah, that's what literally everybody says about them, is that if you have like more than one claim on your account in so much as like a year or two, they might drop you, or like they're really ruthless about being paid on time and stuff. Now in their defense, their rates are always usually pretty good. Yeah. So it's, it's kind of like, you pay for that good service, but don't fuck around with them. Yeah. When it comes to the money. So that's kind of an interesting thing, but it does suck when it's something that's completely out of your control.
Dude, completely out of my control. Like, so here's the thing. I called them today at like 4:30. All right, they close at 5. I call them at 4:30. I get the automated machine with the background music. And it's like, we will get you connected with a representative as soon as possible. Estimated wait time, 15 minutes. And I'm like, I know they close at 5, but I'm not going to be that dude who just can't wait 15 minutes to have whatever. That's fine. So I stay on the line, leave it on speaker, 15 minutes comes and goes. Now we're 20 minutes in. And it's like, we will get with a representative as soon as possible. 25 minutes in. 5 to 5. I know they close at 5. Soon as 5 o'clock hit, the automated recording says, we are sorry. We are currently closed for the day. Please, call back our normal business. And I'm just like, oh my God, I wanted to punch somebody. Because, like, first of all, they fucked me on the payment. And they're threatening me now. And I try to call, and I'm the patient guy. And their 15 minutes turned into 30 minutes, and then they're closed, and they still can't help me. And now I got to call them again tomorrow. Dude, they're jerking me around. I don't like it. I've given them how much money over 12 years? I don't know.
And they've probably like, because everything's so automated now, they probably have literally like one person manning the phone. And that's why the wait time is like is so long, or like a couple people. Well, and so because they try to do those things. I don't know if your insurance is like this, but they all try to do that shit now, where it's like they give you the menu and they're like, let's try and resolve your problem with the fucking robot. And it's like, okay, well, I know I need to talk to a person, and I'm just like always just mashing 0 the whole time I'm in those menus, because it's like, just give me a fucking person.
It's really annoying. But well, they also are facing lawsuits, and the cybersecurity thing was a big thing, and they weren't really transparent with anybody that this happened. So they're under a lot of shit right now.
That's crazy. My brother works for them. I should ask him what happened.
Who works for him?
my brother.
Oh yeah, you should, dude. But anyways, dude, that's been my morning or day rather. But yeah, just doing music and cruising right along. So we'll shut up about our everyday stuff. I haven't had Hero Quest in a while. I've been having a lot of Sunday concerts, so I'm still in between campaigns on Hero Quest for anyone who cares. But let's talk about games we're playing. Jake, I'm still playing Death Stranding 2. Obviously, I'm still playing this. I think I'm in episode 4 or 5 rather. I don't know where I'm at, but I haven't played it nearly as much as I've wanted to because I've been busy. But man, I have played it a little bit, and in between getting out of work today and waiting for you to get home and ready to do the podcast, I jumped in, and I'm all specced out for my next run, and I have it in rest mode, so I can't wait to do this run when I get done with the podcast. So I'm enjoying the hell out of this game. I've gotten a little bit further. I've unlocked a couple more NPC characters that are interesting, which I won't talk about. Everything just ramps. It's just ramping and ramping, and it's great. It's just so good. So that's all I've been playing, and that's all I have to report on because I'm tiptoeing around spoilers, and I have a lot I want to say about this game, but I think I've said everything I need to on episode 383, which was last week's episode. I just pretty much gushed about it for 40 minutes, and then I let you talk. But dude, this game's awesome. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
But what about you? What are you playing?
I'm still playing Doom. To be honest, I haven't really had much time to play video games this past week. It was my first week back to work after being gone on vacation, so everything was really busy there. And then over the holiday weekend, I was at the track all day Friday, and then Saturday we had a lot going on we practiced, and then I had yard work, and then I had family stuff, and then Sunday we were doing the show, which we had to be there pretty early for the show, so I've probably only played maybe a few hours this past week, so I'm still kind of chugging away at that. Nothing really new to report.
Yeah,
it's still really good. I'm actually enjoying it more because I'm getting a lot better at the game, but I will say that, like, there's just, like, some weird shit about it that just makes it not feel like a Doom game. Like, there's some environments that you go into and, like, the music and stuff, and there are, like, these puzzles that I'm just like, can we fucking quit it with the goddamn puzzles? Like, I just want to shoot shit.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're that crazy, but it's just like, oh, I gotta find the fucking hidden icon, and then I gotta throw my shield at it so that it lifts this platform, and it's like, bro, I don't care about any of this shit. Just let me shoot stuff. And so that's a little bit of a bummer from that regard. But other than that, I mean, it's still really fun to play when you're running around shooting things. I wish it was a little more linear like the first game.
Yeah.
I might have already said that. And it is linear, but you're, like, in these open areas, and you have to, like, go accomplish these tasks, and they put the secrets all over the open area, and it's like, I just want a fucking corridor, like the first game. Just let me run through it and blast shit. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, maybe you have little side jaunts and stuff and, like, hidden doors and things if you want to do the secrets, but I just... It would be so cool to just go back to having, like, a linear gameplay experience again.
Yeah, dude. I hear ya. I like linear games, man. I like them a lot. There's just something about a game just telling me where to go and what to do that I appreciate at my old age. So let's get into the news, man. There's 5 news points I want to chat about, and then we'll just call it a day. We'll keep it relatively quick here this week. There was some stuff, but I picked out some news points. Jake, if there's anything that I'm missing here, feel free to chime in and talk about them. First news point rocked the internet a little bit. Neil Druckmann, the guy from Naughty Dog, stepped away from the Last of Us TV series, Season 3, to focus on his position at Naughty Dog. So he's announced that he will not be involved in the 3rd season. I wonder if this has something to do with the critical reception of Season 2, or more so to do with him just really trying to, like, wrap up the heretic priest, you know. And then he also, in a tweet, and then we'll talk about it all, he is, as we all know, the creative force behind The Last of Us. He publicly lauded Clair Obscur Expedition 33. He said it was, quote, one of the most moving creative stories I played in a long time, end quote. You know, Stellar Blade's director echoed the same sentiment, acknowledging the game as a strong early contender for Game of the Year. And there's just a lot of momentum behind Clair Obscur. You know, so I have not yet played this game. Sarah gave me guff yesterday about not having played it yet. And my brother loved it. Jake, you liked it. And so Druckmann is singing the praises now. He has played and beaten this game. And he's stepping away from the TV series for the next season. What do you think about all this news?
I mean, I think that that's generally what fans of Naughty Dog would like to hear, is that he's moving away. He's like focusing on the games and walking away from the TV stuff, because I think there was maybe at least a little bit of concern that he was going to shift more towards the TV side or the movie side and away from the game stuff. And but it sounds like he wants to get back to the games. He wants to focus on this new the newest project, I guess, in that's announced anyway, the Heretic Prophet and Intergalactic. And I think that ultimately that's probably good. Do I think it has anything to do with the reception of season 2 of the TV show? Probably not. Because I don't think, I mean, you could argue that fans of the game might be a little bit disappointed with season 2 compared to season 1, but I would say that probably the mass audience, I think, loved it.
Yeah.
So I don't know that it really, I think that he's just like, okay, it's in a good place. I trust, you know, whatever the what's his name, Craig Mazin to wrap up season 3 with Abby's story, and I got to go back and make sure that Intergalactic is satisfactory as far as Naughty Dog standards go. So I'm just gonna say that I think that it's probably just him returning to his duties, because he is like the co-head of Naughty Dog. So he does have a lot of responsibility there. And I'm sure it was taking up a lot of his time dicking around with the TV show.
Yeah.
And I could tell you right now that Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, is going to make Sony orders of magnitude more money than the Last of Us TV show does. So it behooves him to focus more as a Sony employee. It behooves him more to focus on the video game than it does on the TV show.
Right.
And then as far as, like, obviously Clair Obscur totally makes sense. I have not met a single person that doesn't at least like it, let alone love it. I would have to imagine that it's probably going to win Game of the Year. I mean, maybe you would see something like Death Stranding 2 get in there, because I know a lot of people are liking that too. But just given that it's a sequel and Clair Obscur kind of came out of nowhere and everyone loves it, my guess is that it's probably going to be the one. I know even like my brother, I was talking to him on Saturday, and he's been playing it, and he's like doing New Game Plus now, and he's like talking about maybe getting the platinum, and he's been doing all the optional shit and everything. And so this is a game that seems to be grabbing people, but I know that that's not what we're talking about. So, but yeah, as far as Neil Druckmann goes, I think he's probably doing the right thing here.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, he didn't really strike me as somebody like Kojima that wants to make movies. Like Kojima, I think, wants to be in Hollywood. He's just
right.
There's nothing more funny to me than somebody who's amazing at something, but just wants to be amazing at something else. Like that Coulter Wall singer-songwriter guy. Just he's great at what he does, but if he had it his way, he wouldn't have to tour or be a musician. Like, he would just live on a ranch and make all of his money that way. Like that's truly what he wants to do, and he's been vocal about it. Like he's just like,
Hell yeah,
yeah. It's so interesting. Like he's exactly how I wish my life could have went, being like a famous musician, like touring and traveling and all this stuff. But he wants nothing. He would rather just be on a ranch. Oh man, it's just Hideo Kojima is such a legend in the video game world, but I feel like he just wants so badly to be recognized in Hollywood, and it's just such a weird thing. Anyways. I'm sure he appreciates his fan base and everything he's done, but it's just funny to think about the juxtaposition of all that. Next news point: the long-running rivalry between Gran Turismo and Forza Motorsport has cooled significantly. Jake, there's an article on Push Square that suggests that Forza was once a powerhouse on Xbox, which we know they have been. They're no longer going to be supported as strongly by Microsoft, which raises questions about the franchise's future viability. This could leave Gran Turismo facing far less direct competition on the console. And as an addendum to this, Turn 10 Studios was recently gutted by Microsoft. So half of the crew is gone. The studio has shifted and feels like a flare, feels like an issue. So I don't know. What do you think is going on? And we have Gran Turismo 7 sitting pretty, and maybe Forza Motorsport, maybe not so much, man. What is this bode for the future? Do we need competition for Gran Turismo? I would say yes.
I think yes, but I don't think it ever really came from Forza. I think it was more like iRacing or something like that on PC that was a little bit more, because I've never heard someone be like who's doing hardcore sim racing talk about Forza over iRacing or Gran Turismo. So I'm not saying that Forza wasn't a great sim racer.
Right.
I'm just saying as far as market share goes, I don't think it was even close to those two. So, especially not Gran Turismo, which is absolutely fucking huge worldwide. But I do think that it is a bummer. It's always a bummer. I mean, Microsoft just closed a shitload of stuff and laid off a ton of people. Like I saw that they just canceled that Perfect Dark game that they were working on, and the demo that they had for that at last year looked fucking incredible. So it's kind of crazy to me that they're like canceling these things and closing these studios, but I guess it kind of makes sense with them being kind of like a loser in the market right now and the way that things are kind of trending from a consolidation perspective. But yeah, I hate to see it because Forza Horizon 5 is incredible. And when we talk about competitors for Gran Turismo, we're talking specifically about Forza Motorsport, which is their sim racer. Forza Horizon is their like arcade style racer. They just both have the Forza title. It's just the Horizon ones are the arcade ones. The Motorsport ones are the sim racers, just for anyone who doesn't know that. But Forza Horizon 5 is on PlayStation now, and it's selling like crazy. And it's an amazing game. So I have a hard time believing that they're going to drop Forza Horizon, but it wouldn't surprise me with everything that we've been hearing if they just decide to dedicate all of their resources towards Horizon and kind of leave Motorsport alone. And because I think it would really be a bummer, a really unfortunate thing for them to not go back to Forza Horizon, because people who've listened to the show for a while know that was one of the games that I played on my Xbox, and I talked about it a while ago. And I was talking about how if this game ever comes to PlayStation, people should play it. Because like if you like those arcade racers, think about like your Need for Speeds and stuff like that. Maybe not Project Cars, but like, that type of game. It's so fucking good. It's so much fun. So, maybe like MotorStorm might be a good example. I don't know. But yeah, this is, it's sad to hear, but I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I kind of think that like from a personal preference, I'd probably rather play Forza Horizon over Gran Turismo. So I think it's gonna find maybe even a stronger rival now in something that's a little outside of the motor sim genre, because I think some people want the graphics and want the game, but they don't want to deal with the minutia of these sim games. So while Gran Turismo is really good at what it does, I feel like there's just generally speaking more people that would rather hop into like Forza Horizon than deal with all the nitty gritty in a Gran Turismo game. But maybe that's just me. And maybe that's what Microsoft's hedging their bets on.
I'm just trying to see kind of the Forza Horizon sales.
He's diving into the numbers, folks.
Forza Motorsport. Okay. This is really total series. Forza Motorsport. Fuck. It's hard to it's really hard. It's really hard to tell just like at a glance.
Yeah.
But it seems like Forza Horizon consistently outsells Forza Motorsport,
which
makes sense because it's a much more accessible game than Forza Motorsport.
Yeah. All right.
So
interesting. All right. Well, I've got 3 more news points, Jake. Helldivers 2, everybody knows, did very, very good on PlayStation. Sony has made the decision to launch Helldivers 2 on Xbox Series X and Series S. This has been met with a lot of mixed reaction within the PS5 community. Some players are feeling betrayed, calling the game irrelevant now, which is ridiculous, in my personal opinion. Others think it's a smart move to give Helldivers 2 broader exposure. It is kind of a strange strategic pivot for Sony to typically offer first-party titles up like this to the Xbox platform. Usually they're pretty protective of these titles. But I think that, like, if I'm being honest, man, this is the closest they've come to a successful live service game. Why wouldn't they want it available elsewhere? They probably have the numbers on how many Sony PlayStation players are buying all this fucking additional content, right? And they're like, wow, we can double this probably.
Yeah, the farther we get into this, the older I get, the more widespread my gaming tastes have become, or narrowed my gaming tastes have become, or I guess how they've varied. The less I care about this exclusivity stuff. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I am not sitting here saying they should drop The Last of Us Part 3 Day 1 on Xbox. That's not what I'm saying. But, like, where it makes sense, dude, who fucking cares if Helldivers goes to Xbox? It's a live service game. It's not like, yeah, Sony owns the IP, and yeah, they paid for the development of this, and yeah, apparently they developed the port for Xbox internally. They didn't even outsource it, which is actually pretty interesting. But
they wanted to make sure it was done right.
Helldivers is a multiplayer game. It's fully dependent on having as widespread of audience as possible. And as a PlayStation gamer, if you want to get more of these, you should want to have as much gamer participation as possible, regardless of platform. And I think that where you, at least in the live service space, might get your exclusivity rocks off, if you want to call it, is in that it's going to be like timed exclusive. Like Helldivers was PC and PlayStation only for the first year, and now it's going to Xbox. And it's like, okay, that makes sense, if you want to do something like that. But dude, Marathon is going to be day and date on Xbox. So, and Sony owns that team outright. So it's not like, I guess what I'm saying is that for games like this, it should not be something you just get used to the idea of this being a multi-platform experience because they live and breathe off of number of players. And if Sony can bring like another million players into Helldivers by turning the switch on for Xbox, fuck yeah, they're going to do it. Why not? That's another, $40 times, that's another 40 million plus whatever the microtransactions are that come along with it.
Yeah.
Like, shoot, why not?
Yeah. I'm in a Helldivers group chat, and I believe someone was just like, reinforcements incoming. And I think posted the link, which is fucking the right attitude. That's great. I love that. I really would like to get back into Helldivers 2. And if I do, I'm going to start a brand new character and just start it from scratch and just grind and have fun with it. That's the way to do it. It just came out at a bad time where things were kind of crazy, and I just didn't really stick with it the way I wanted to, the way I intended to. I did love the game when I was playing it. 2 more news points. There's now a new 10-minute PS5 gameplay demo for Mafia, the Old Country. It showcases the game, and I've got to admit, it looks very Uncharted-like. There's some stealth, there's cover-based gunplay, there's some pacing with the narrative. It looks like a cinematic adventure, and following community feedback, this entry embraces a fully linear story approach, and it's priced at $50. This game looks more and more appealing every time I see anything about it. It looks like it's going to be a good one. I don't know. Anything on that, Jake?
I haven't watched it, but I am super interested in this game. I mean, this is going to probably be one of those things where it depends on where I'm at with my gaming when it comes out, and possibly maybe even how it reviews. But I'm definitely interested in it. I think it looks cool. It seems like a unique experience. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit more short and linear and everything, and it's much more affordably priced, like you had mentioned, at like $50. So, fuck, man, I don't know. It seems like something that would be worth checking out. But I don't know that I even really want to watch like this deep dive gameplay thing. I mean, I'm already kind of sold on what the game is. I just want to know if it's good or not. That's really the big thing.
I wonder what the time to beat's going to be on a game like this. If it's single player linear, but it's like 25 hours, I'm out. If it's like a 9 to 12 hour game, I think I'm in.
I don't even think 25 is that bad for a linear game.
Well, being they're charging $50, it can't be that long, right?
I don't know. I mean, Clair Obscur was $50, and it took me 45 hours to beat it.
Right,
so, and I mean, that's an RPG.
I just don't want something really long.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't know. I mean, as long as I'm okay with it being like 20 to 25 hours, or even maybe as long as 30, as long as like every single one of those hours is justified. I think where you run into issues where it's like The Last of Us Part 2, where it felt like the pacing was all fucked up and the game was just too long, and like there were times where I was playing it and I'm just like, oh, can this just be fucking over? It's like all these sections between, like, don't get me wrong, I think the game is immaculate, but it's too long. But I've definitely played games that are like 20 to 30 hours where I'm like, oh, that kind of flew by because every moment of the game was important. Yeah. And it mattered. And so I don't know. I'm not saying Mafia is going to be like that. I'm just throwing some sort of, alternate theory out there that like it could be a little bit longer as long as it's justified. But I wholeheartedly agree with you that like under 20 hours would be ideal for me personally. Yeah. Just in my busy schedule.
Right. Let me jump in and jump out. Let me play it for 2.5, 3 weeks. Get my money's worth and enjoy it. All right. Well, last news point, Jake. There's a petition that was going around called Stop Killing Games. Over 1 million gamers have signed this. What it does is it's calling out companies for shutting off old games. There was a publisher rep group Video Games Europe fired back saying that enforcing eternal support for all games would render some games prohibitively expensive to create, meaning the games wouldn't get made if they had to support them forever. So
I saw a meme.
Yeah.
I saw a meme that was like something along the lines of like a guy saying something about how like I signed this petition or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then another guy was like, yeah, but it's gonna kill live service games. And then the first guy was like, I already signed the petition. You don't have to convince me. Like he's trying to kill live service games. That's which funny. Is like, like to be completely honest with you, I'm not like anti live service, but I am kind of anti shove live service elements into fucking every goddamn game.
Right.
So I think that if there was some, I don't think that it should be regulated. Ultimately, I don't think it should be regulated. But if there was something that like forced these creators to think about just this greedy over monetization, I think that it would be. It's probably going to blow up in some other way that's going to affect gamers negatively. But I do think that there is like an oversaturation of like the industry has kind of turned into this thing where it's like it's kind of like with what's the Sony game that got canceled after like 2 weeks.
Oh man,
not Fair Games.
No?
Concord.
Yeah, thank you.
It's like with Concord, it's like more and more of these things are just like, well, if we hit, we're going to make billions of dollars. So it's worth it to just make a shitload of these games and just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And in the meantime, you've got all these gamers that like some of them buy in and then the game doesn't hit. And now they're just like fucked because they spent all this money and like the servers die after 6 months. It's like, I mean, I totally get why if you're into these types of games, why that would be why something like this would be attractive for you as far as a petition goes. Because, dude, let's say you sign up for Fair Games, you end up really liking it, and then Sony decides to shut the servers off after 6 months because there's only a couple 100,000 people that are interested in the game, and there's not like 10 million people interested in the game, so it's not worth it for them. So it's like, okay, well, I just fucking, I got invested in this game, whether by money or emotionally or everything, and now prematurely you're shutting it off because it's not worth it for you because you're looking for the big fish, not the little fish that's only making you a little bit of money every year. And it's just like, I do understand that there needs to be a little bit of maybe somebody needs to put some kind of guardrails on this market, but maybe not to the extent where it like hinders developers making the games that they want to make. I don't know what the solution is. I'm just saying that there could be ramifications that people aren't thinking about.
Yeah. So the goal is to hit 1.4 million backers to the petition signatures to ensure validity. Now, this is all happening. I believe this is all European right now. It's all going on out there. It's an EU consumer protection law that requires publishers to offer permanent access to online games. And then they also should be promoting technical alternatives such as offline modes or public or private server support once official operation ends. And then the end goal is also to ensure that these purchased games remain playable long-term to safeguard digital ownership and media preservation. So the opposition is coming from a lobbying group that represents Ubisoft, Microsoft, Nintendo, etc., and that's Video Games Europe. And their argument is that it's the cost that this will force on studios for maintaining server compatibility and security isn't viable. There's going to be legal liabilities for unauthorized content on private servers. They're saying that this could limit innovations as companies can no longer phase out unprofitable services. So they are looking at it more so from a cover your ass, big corporation. Of course, you have a lot of YouTubers that are supporting this, like that PewDiePie guy and different activists and whatnot. And it's just a big thing going on right now. And I think it's interesting. The UK petition did reach 100,000, and that prompts Parliament to review it. But I don't know. There are people that are actively lobbying against the regulation, and then there are people who are for it. So it's something that's in motion. I don't know that it's gonna take hold. I don't know that what will come of this. And I'm also part of the camp that is just like, be careful what you fucking wish for. You know what I mean? Like, this is one of those things where you could be hurting yourself in the long run by being like, well, now all these, you could be the same people who are so gut-wrenched over firings from these companies, layoffs and whatnot. The reason that happens is because, number one, the owners of these companies, someone's got to make money, but they want to stay profitable. And if you're going to force these companies or try to force them legally to change the way they look at this stuff, we're already seeing a crazy drop in creative games because people only want to create what's going to work, what is tried and true. So you do something like this and you take even more money from the studios because they're supporting these shitty games that they release. Could you imagine if this had passed and Concord came out and they had to just support it forever? Like, could you imagine, like, support, like, just because, like, it's a game that was made and it was on the market, that then you're legally bound to support the game? That's ridiculous. I don't know. You're right. Someone has to think some of this stuff through. But I don't know. I think it's interesting. We'll keep our eye on it. But that's all I really have to say about it. Just be careful what you wish for. That being said, that concludes the show. I don't have a list of upcoming games. I don't have anything. But I wanted to touch base with everybody this week. And so did you, Jake. And glad we got the episode recorded. We're pushing about an hour at this point. Not quite an hour, but a shorter show this week. But it's been hot. The hellish heat has got me exhausted and fatigued. So, what do you think?
I've been in my pool quite a bit. I normally, like, 9 times out of 10, I would tell you never get a pool. They're awful. They're way more trouble than they're worth. But man, on days like Saturday and Sunday and Friday when it was just hot as fuck outside, and just like jumping in, getting on a floaty, cracking a beer, putting your sunglasses on, throw some music on, floating around for an hour. Yeah, it's very nice.
That's awesome.
I won't lie.
Good.
So I did that some over the weekend. I won't be doing it today because of it's not raining now, but it's cooled down quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
they were calling for storms here. It poured at one point today, but it let up, and then they were calling for more. I don't know. It is what it is.
I think it's supposed to storm maybe tomorrow or Wednesday again.
Yeah,
too.
maybe the rest of the week rain, I think, here on and off.
Yeah.
But anyways. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Episode 384 of PS This Is Awesome. We're a PlayStation podcast. Again, we air every Wednesday. For anyone who is not a patron of the show, go to patreon.com/PS This Is Awesome. For $1 a month, you can support us and get an episode free, early free. Get an early episode most days, and we'll give you a sticker and a shout out, like we said earlier. So everybody, stay cool, hydrate, get your electrolytes, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Like Neo, Nier Automata, and No Man's Sky. P.S.
Yes.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.